Welcome to Career Vocational Opportunities for those with employment challenges. I'm Ivan Orsenberg, and I'm founder and president of the Uniquely Abled Project. 17% of the US population is classified as disabled. That might not sound like a big number until you look at the actual population. That's 40 million people. And one of the problems is that after high school, the career education opportunities available to the disabled are limited, resulting in about 82% of those with a disability are not employed versus 35% for those without a disability. We've actually seen the unemployment ranges from 60 to 90%. And these statistics have not changed in decades. Despite good intentions, the work of thousands of people and millions of dollars, the statistics have not changed in decades. While differences have been made in the lives of individuals, there has not been a significant dent made in the 40 million. This leads to the conclusion that in the long run, charity and grants are not a sustainable or effective solution for a 40 million person problem. And any solution one comes up with has to be scalable to be able to deal with 40 million people. We came to the conclusion that a business solution is needed, something that impacts the 40 million and delivers business value to businesses. See, as a business decision, businesses want to hire somebody able to fill a need they have. They're going to hire the disabled only out of charity or being a good corporate citizen. So this problem for business was true before the pandemic. It's likely to be true as we emerge. See, skilled labor, that is someone who's a perfect fit for a particular job, is likely to be even more in demand as companies focus on efficiency and being competitive. So we saw these two problems, the demand for skilled labor and the 60 to 90% unemployment rate, as being solutions to each other. But there seems to be something in the way. And the first thing we saw that was in the way are the words that we use when talking to a potential employer. They're often more about charity than about businesses. Words are important. They're lenses through which we look at the world. They actually create a world. So what comes to mind when we say somebody is disabled? Well, what are they missing? What can't they do? What compromise am I going to have to make if I employ them? What's the cost? And is the benefit worth the cost? In other words, it's all about what's missing. What comes to mind when we say someone is uniquely abled? Well, what are they really good at? How might their unique abilities help me? What new things might be accomplished utilizing their unique abilities? See, the words we use literally create the world in which we operate. So one of the purposes of the Uniquely Abled Project is to shift the societal paradigm from disabled to uniquely able. And we recommend as much as possible you use uniquely able instead of disabled. It will change your thoughts, your wording, your enthusiasm, and the reaction from others. So how do we propose to address the unacceptable employment rate of uniquely abled individuals? Well, we saw that when one ability is diminished, the body makes up for it by causing other abilities to be extraordinary. For example, people that are blind typically have extraordinary senses of touch and hearing. Then what we need to ask, what jobs could use those unique abilities? For example, being a masseuse. So businesses are interested in hiring somebody who's able and a great fit for a need they have. They do not want to hire the disabled except as a charity or for marketing. They're interested in a business conversation. I need somebody to fit for a need I have. And as soon as you use the word disabled or hire the handicapped or be a good community citizen or even think from these perspectives, You're in a charity, not a business conversation. And your ability to place a candidate in a good career job is severely hampered. Anything other than being focused on ability and a fit for a need they have is not a business conversation. It's not a sustainable solution. So the second purpose of the Uniquely Able Project is to provide vocational opportunities to uniquely abled individuals by matching their unique abilities to the needs of career B2B jobs in demand. B2B means companies that sell to other businesses. And why that's important is because that's where most of the career jobs are. You have to be familiar with B2B, not just B2C, that is retail companies. And unfortunately, that's where a lot of people with employment challenges are placed. The other thing that's really great, not only is there a great fit, but when you integrate uniquely abled individuals into a regular workforce, the productivity and the morale of the entire plant goes up. There are two programs of the UAP. The UAP Jobs Program, that is for jobs that do not require prior training, and the Uniquely Able Academies for jobs that do require prior training. For jobs that do not require prior training, these are typically jobs that are highly repetitive, have an objective process, very clear steps, and allow for working alone. And here are some examples, including running some relatively simple machines. One of the problems is that the jobs involving high repetition are often assigned to those who hate such jobs, or the jobs are not done at all. And many companies do not realize how many such jobs they have, many of which are not being done because they're so hard to fill and because there's such a big turnover in these kinds of jobs. And they're clearly not aware, for the most part, that there's a population, employable population, which loves and is good at repetitious jobs. They're repetition tolerant and detail focused. We often assume that we're all alike and that if I would not like a job, that is something that's highly repetitive, then I'm difficulty imagining that anyone would love that job. And even if they realize, oh, there is a population that would love this job, they don't know where to go to hire, to find those workers. They don't realize, here are some examples of some of the organizations that we've worked with. And I would say that most businesses are not familiar with these organizations. We did a pilot with two companies quite a while ago. And what's important is the CEO of one of these companies said, hiring uniquely abled workers was one of the best business decisions I've ever made. And I asked him why. And he said, all I did was hire 3 people at minimum wage, and the productivity and the morale of my entire company went up. So as we said, a gap exists. Companies may not know about the agencies that are potential sources of workers, and job developers may not know how to access B2B companies that have the career jobs. There is a big valley between these two. So how is the Uniquely Able Project bridging this gap? Well, for jobs that do not require prior training, we're supporting job developers and making placements in B2B companies with in-demand career job openings. We're there to help an employer fill their toughest job requirements. And secondly, making companies aware of the availability of a uniquely able population that matches their job openings, encouraging companies to include unique abilities in their selection process, and establishing a common language between companies and job developers, and finally letting companies know where to go to hire these uniquely abled individuals. So first we have the Job Developer Workshop. So that is used to be a one-day program that supports job developers in not only increasing the numbers of consumers, but increasing the number of consumers they place in good paying career jobs. And then having their process itself be more efficient and effective. And the videos are available for free on the UAP website. Secondly, we work to make companies aware of the availability of uniquely able population that are a great match for their openings. And we've been doing this by making presentation to industry associations, and by publishing articles in industry publications, such as the NTMA record. And then we've been encouraging companies to include unique abilities in their selection process. See, it's very interesting. There's a difference between skills and ability. A skill may be an ability to use a micrometer or operate a certain machine, but abilities which are often the deciding characteristic of whether a person matches or successful in a job are things like ability to tolerate high repetition and simultaneously maintain detailed focus, able to reliably and quickly see when a part does not meet spec. Those are abilities, and they're almost never included in a job description. And yet that's where uniquely able individuals shine. So what we've done is we've created jobs lists, lists of typical jobs in general manufacturing with the names, characteristics, skills, and unique abilities required for each job. And these are available for free on the website. We also are making companies aware of where to go to get uniquely able individuals. So we've created source directories, which are also available for free on the web. And they're organized geographically. This happens to be a page for Anaheim. And this enables a company that has an opening to simply go to the page of the geographic area, and there's the name of the organization, the person to call, their phone number, email address, and so on. We have done this extensively for Southern California, and we're developing it nationally as well. If you're an organization that's interested in being listed, let us know. But we do let you know that it's important that you be able to be facile in the business conversation, and therefore you've looked at the Job Developer Workshop videos. So jobs that do require prior training, the other set of jobs, the issue there is existing career education facilities often do not have the needed accommodations or are missing critical functions. Well, what are those critical functions? Well, it turns out there are 9 critical components of career education facilities for the uniquely able for it to be successful. So we're going to go through those, mostly to let you know what the program contains in the 16-week program. And the first is matching the student's unique abilities to a selected job, where there'll be training and job placement. So we generally want to choose a job that's in demand, and then we select students, usually by starting with a diagnosis that is a perfect match for that job. Then financial support. To date, all our training and job placement has been free to the student or trainee. And of course, you've got to have some kind of technical skills. You've got to train them in a job. This, for example, is training somebody how to run a CNC machine, computer numerically controlled machine. You also need to train the instructors how to effectively teach a particularly uniquely able population. There are usually some accommodations. We will have a video ready later this year for instructors that are teaching particularly uniquely able populations. You also need to do some kind of job readiness or soft skills training. And again, later this year, we'll have a curriculum and video for soft skills instructors. Then you need to have support for job search and placement, because it's very difficult for not only these people of this generation, but particularly for people that have unique abilities to do the job search and know how to do it. So somebody needs to do it. And this is where the Job Developer Workshop really helps job developers. And then you want to coach potential employers how to select. See, typically, uniquely able individuals fail the selection process. That is the HR interviews. HR, unless people understand the characteristics of the particular diagnosis. For example, people with autism often don't look people directly in their eyes. HR may misinterpret that, for example, as an indicator of lying. So, and if you have a large number of people in an interview with somebody with autism, that may also likely to shut them down. So this isn't the way to select the candidate. And so we coach employers how to select people for the match to the job they're looking at. And then we want to coach employers how to onboard and manage. And later this year, we'll have a video for managers of graduates of our training program. And it's not very difficult. You just got to, like with instructors, just got to know a few critical things and have it work really well. And lastly, you want to have post-hire support, job coach or internship, something particularly again for people with autism, help them through that transition. So here's the 9 different program components that are critical if you're going to have a career education program for the uniquely able. Now, none of these are rocket science. They're all present somewhere. If I go to any geographic area, I'm going to find at least one organization that provides that function. But no one organization provides them all. And collaboration is in general missing. And it's not missing because they don't want to. There's just no structure for it. So we created the Uniquely Abled Academy. It's simply a structure in which multiple organizations can collaborate to deliver all 9 critical program components in a single program. And it has really worked very, very well to date. So our first Uniquely Abled Academy was focused on CNC machines. See, that's there's a high demand. This is a machine that's basically a set of cutting tools controlled by a computer that's been programmed to have those tools cut a precise part. It can be used in an airplane, spacecraft, automobile, medical device. High demand all over the country for CNC machinists. And it turns out that the typical abilities of people with high functioning autism are a perfect match for a CNC machinist. It's if I change the title to skills of a CNC machinist, I wouldn't change anything in here. It's exactly the same. So it's natural for people with autism, not everybody, but for many people with autism, CNC is a very comfortable and actually fun job. One of our people that were employed said, you know, as growing up, I wanted to be a Lego designer. He said, this is the adult version. So our Uniquely Abled Academies train those with high functioning autism to be CNC machine operators. It's a 16-week program, and it's followed by job placement and post-hire support. So everything's there, from not even knowing what CNC stands for, all the way through to being hired as an entry-level CNC operator. And we have almost a 100% successful placement rate to date. New academies are being established across the United States. Remember, we said we have to have a scalable solution. So we've made it as easy as possible to establish a Uniquely Abled Academy. We don't run them, we don't manage them, we don't fund them, we support them. We be the consultant that helps these things get going. And anyone, including a parent, can be the seed. We've had calls from parents that said, I have a son or daughter, and I think they'd be great for your program, but there's nothing here now. What do I do? And the result has been a Uniquely Abled Academy in their area. The benefits from employers for hiring uniquely able individuals is generally the job is done better because then it's done by a neurotypical, because it's a great match. And as I said, the morale and productivity goes up. It helps meet the 7% requirement for those that are doing business. And there's numerous financial benefits. And the proof of the pudding on one side is the employers. Here's some quotes. You know, after 2.5 months, he's equal to or better than the best CNC operator I've ever had. They learn in weeks what takes other months. He's eager to take on more knowledge and try anything we throw at him. They're like ideal employees. So, possible things you could do as a result of seeing this video: use Uniquely Abled instead of disabled. People get it quickly and they really see the positive aspects of it. And this is our intention, to spread this until disabled becomes the D word. Join our newsletter. You can do that on our website. Connect us to possible hosts, which are typically community colleges who are putting up a Uniquely Abled Academy. Watch the job developer workshop videos and implement what you learn there. Invite us to speak to industry groups, develop the unique abilities of jobs in particular industries that you know well, and encourage companies to use abilities in their hiring decisions, not just skills, and to consider hiring the uniquely able as a business decision. Contact us. We'd love to talk with you and help you with whatever project you got going. Here's how to contact us. Thank you.